Welcome to the underworld.
Wow. How have I never heard of this place?
Persephone keeps it a secret, while still managing to draw a crowd every night. Don't ask me how. Here in the underworld, idols can be themselves, even if they don't look human.
There are idols here other than Persephone?
Almost guaranteed.
Is it dangerous?
Shouldn't be. But before Calliope, I would have said an idol getting murdered was next to impossible. If we're to find Persephone in all this, we'll need to split up. Have you considered what you'll say to her?
Not really. What do you suggest?
Well, if I know Persephone, and I do, she won't be up for a chat. You need to be prepared to use your powers, as you did with me. Come find me in the crown if you need anything. Otherwise, be careful, Grace.
As I live and breathe, if it isn't our dear muse.
Hi, Pan.
Tell me, have you decided to leave your troubles behind and join us in the land of shadows and revelry?
I should thank you for the address. It's what led me here.
No need to thank me. You'll owe me. Remember, how you managed to stir the sun god from his oh-so-tiresome gloom, I cannot imagine. Nicely done.
Did you know Apollo would be at that apartment?
However would I know something like that?
See, you play innocent, but I just don't believe you.
Flatterer.
I'm guessing it's a total coincidence that I'm running into you here.
It must be. The alternative would be that I knew a great many things ahead of time.
Well, did you?
Do I look like an oracle? I am here to listen to thrilling music and meet delicious people. My tastes are simple.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of simple tastes, my glass is empty again. The service here is appalling.
I assume you're a regular at this club?
And why would you assume that, dear Grace?
The horns, you... Do you know Persephone well?
There is no knowing Persephone well. She won't have it. Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Long ago, we were all very different. Over the span of ages, however, even mountains erode.
The things you say, the things you don't say... You don't make yourself seem trustworthy, you know that?
Trust is for the weak and the penniless.
Still not helping.
Why, Grace, are you assuming that I, Pan, am some sort of scoundrel?
It's more that I'm stating it outright.
Rejected twice in a row. How will I ever recover from such insult, I ask you?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to tell you, Grace. Even an idol needs to get by.
You must know why I'm here, right?
Let me guess. You seek our sweet-natured proprietress.
Can you help me find her?
Earlier I wasn't good enough, but now, I see how it is. By all means, I'd love to tell Persephone that the source of her rage has intruded on her domain.
Don't tell me the big bad Pan is afraid.
Seeing as I am neither big nor truly bad, it behooves me to be wary of those who are both.
That's awfully sensible for you.
You barely know me, my little dumpling. But if I am anything, I am a survivor.
Suit yourself. I'll find another way.
It's for the best. My best, at any rate.
I should get going. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
One can only hope.
Oh, hey. You're the new muse, aren't you?
I guess I am, yeah.
Aphrodite mentioned it. Didn't figure I'd see you here, though. Oh, excuse the manners. Name's Eros, god of sex.
Did you say that you're the god of sex?
Desire, really. Sensuality. Attraction. Why? Were you expecting a chubby little flying baby with a bow and arrow?
I wasn't...
I actually preferred Cupid, but Pan had to be the trickster. Spread all those stupid stories.
I'm sorry?
Why? It's not your fault. Just another grudge I get to carry around forever.
The god of sex at a club. Looking for someone?
Once I might have, sure. Now I'm just here to see it happen.
See what happened?
Look out there. See all these people. The hope, the anticipation, the connections, they bounce off each other. To me, it's like lightning.
There are worse ways to spend a night out.
I used to make it happen, you know. Mortals once begged me to make it happen, to inspire true love. But now I only inspire sex. Not the same thing. It's just as well. People should find true love the hard way. They'll value it more.
Here's the thing. I'm looking for Persephone, but I can't find her anywhere.
Well, I know where she is, but I question whether she'd be happy to see you. Look, I like you, but Mother told me what happened at the chorus. I don't want to cause trouble with Persephone.
What if I could guarantee that there wouldn't be a problem?
Aha. How could you guarantee that?
First, I'd reassure you that I'm here to work things out with Persephone. I don't want to fight. Second, if that didn't pan out, I'd tell her I lied to you.
Making me the idiot who fell for it.
Oh, I don't know. I can be tricksy.
Okay. Fine. When you're ready to see her, you let me know, and I'll take you. Deal?
Deal.
Whoa, you're here. I mean, you gotta be somewhere, but you're here.
Hello, Hermes.
Sorry about running off on you back at the thing. Didn't really have a choice, but sorry anyway.
You're not much like the other idols, are you?
No? I haven't been an idol very long. Maybe like a year? I've lost track. So, I'm not the one to ask about the idol stuff. It's all cool, but mostly I do whatever Athena asks. Athena says one day I'll sit on the chorus. That'll be sick. Can you imagine me in charge?
Why not? Maybe you can shake some dust off the other idols.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of dust.
You're right about that.
I don't think Athena would let me clean anything anyway. She won't even let me touch her spear.
When Calliope died, you were right there, within moments. How did you know?
I told you. I got word, so I came.
But how did you get word?
Look, when an idol dies, I have to be there. So I just know. It's a Hermes thing.
To take the body, clean up the blood, that sort of thing?
Oh, that too, yeah. But that's on Athena's orders.
To keep the idols secret?
Sure. Can you imagine the questions? I don't know how we hide so well as it is.
This is probably a stupid question, but do you know who might have killed Calliope?
Ugh, why would I know anything about that?
When you came to the apartment, it seemed like you knew her.
Oh no, I only met her once. She didn't live with the rest of the idols or hang out with us very much. She seemed nice though. Angry, maybe. But I don't know who'd want to hurt her.
How was she angry?
Pissed off. But more because she cared about everyone too much not to be. I don't know, that's what I thought anyhow. I'm probably wrong.
You've only been an idol for a year? How did that happen?
Probably same way it did with you.
Oh, the old Hermes died in your arms and then they accused you of his murder?
No. Well, yes. I mean, no, not like that. But yeah. I was there when he died. We were friends and I was having trouble at home and he helped me out. I miss him.
You knew it was gonna happen? It wasn't a surprise?
He asked me before he left. So no, not a surprise.
Is that usually how it happens?
Usually, yeah.
We'll see you around?
If you die, then for sure. But, don't die.
I thought this would be easier, but it's as if Persephone left instructions to thwart me. Every staff member I approach screams and runs off. I hope your search has been more successful.
You don't come here often, I'm guessing?
Never. I'm sure Persephone only sent the membership as a formality. I doubt she thought I'd ever use it.
Don't you ever have fun? No drinking or dancing in Apollo land?
Once. When I had the muses to keep me company.
You know, fun doesn't just happen, Apollo. It's okay to not beat yourself up 100% of the time.
I know.
I know you know, but you're in a club. Live a little.
This style of music is unfamiliar to me, but thank you, Grace. I'll try my best.
It might help if I knew more about Persephone.
It couldn't hurt. What would you like to know, exactly?
My Greek mythology is a little rusty, but isn't Persephone the one who was kidnapped?
Oh, you know about that. What else do you know?
Just that Persephone was a sweet girl and Hades, lord of the underworld, swept her off to the land of the dead.
Without so much as a by your leave, yes. Her mother, Demeter, was so enraged she blanketed the world in ice, rendering it barren and infertile. Zeus was forced to act. He decreed that Persephone would be shared between Demeter and Hades, and thus the matter was resolved. Well, you asked. That's her story, as the mortals tell it.
So tell me, how much of Persephone's legend is true?
Well, let's see. Hades did kidnap Persephone. That certainly did happen. The idols almost went to war over it until Zeus intervened and ordered Hades and Persephone to wed. That quieted things. At least until Persephone killed Hades.
Wait, so Hades just kidnapped her? And that was okay? Does this stuff happen a lot with the idols?
Not since the days of the Titans, which I barely remember. It was the first time one idol had killed another. I'd like to say we handled it well, that Zeus and the idols were mindful of what Persephone had been through, but that would be a lie. Persephone was punished for the murder, the underworld taken from her, and we all stood by and let it happen. She has never forgiven us. And honestly, I can't blame her.
Have the idols changed much, you think, since those days?
Well, you know the saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wait, Persephone killed another idol.
Oh, long time ago, yeah.
What about all of Athena's rules? Wouldn't Persephone have been, I don't know.
Executed? The murder of Hades is probably why we now have that rule. Back then, we heard Persephone had usurped Hades' throne, but we couldn't believe it. It just wasn't done. Now, of course, I look back and think we should have seen it coming. Oh, the benefit of hindsight.
Why didn't you see it coming? You're the god of prophecy.
When I look, I learned long ago not to.
So what happened to Persephone after...
The murder? She survived, like the rest of us. She got older, and when we came to the New World, I think she would have left us if it was allowed. It isn't, so instead she did as she pleased. She started a cult, became a crime boss.
Oh, what?
It was after her last transition, but honestly, I have no insight into anything Persephone does these days.
I thought she was just mad at me, but everyone seems afraid of Persephone.
Noticed that, did you? Persephone is angry with everyone and has been for a very long time. I've told you why. But it's more than that. She does not let go of a grudge. 1,000 years could pass and Persephone will remember what you did like it was yesterday.
I found someone who will bring me to Persephone.
Finally, I'll be right behind you.
You're coming with me? But I thought...
She seems even angrier with you than she is with me. I might be able to mediate.
We'll see, I guess.
If you're angry with anyone, Persephone, be angry with me. It was I who...
I will deal with you later. I was willing to leave you be, Grace, to wait until your guilt was certain. And yet here you are, in my domain, uninvited. Why? Are you here to beg for mercy? Are you here to challenge me? Should I be afraid?
I'm not trying to start a fight. Far from it. I came here hoping you could help me.
Help you? Perhaps you could help me instead. I'd like to understand a few things. Do you really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you? What's the real story? Did you stumble across her as she lay dying and desperate? Are you an accident? Did you learn what she was? Did you torture her, hold her at the point of death until she agreed to hand over her Eidolon?
Persephone, this isn't...
You have every reason to try to prove your innocence, Grace, but I have no reason to help you.
Now would be a good time to mediate, Apollo.
Is that why you're here, brother? Because you know me so well?
Because I know that you care. Far more deeply than you could ever admit.
How would you know that? You resigned. You abandoned everything and everyone who ever needed you. You don't know the first thing about me, and you never did. Just crawl back into your dark little hole, Apollo.
You knew Calliope.
We all knew Calliope.
She was staying at your apartment.
You knew her. Better than I or anyone else suspected.
Are you implying that I had something to do with her death?
Prove you didn't. That's how idols work, isn't it?
You hear that? You're in my house, little muse. You want answers? Fight for them. A lost little girl. You shouldn't have come here. And I sure ain't in the mood to make new friends. Go home, little girl. The shadows drawing near, and you all alone. We both know how this ends. Let's see how far she bends. We all know how this ends.
Hello? Testing 1, 2, testing 3. Is this thing on? Are you testing me with your coterie, ogling expectantly? Heads up, wrecking me won't come for free. See, it won't be easy, Persephone, when I use the moves I bring blessedly. Shadows don't scare me, see, I'll survive it. Maybe you want to do this in private.
You're lost, little girl. You're wasting our time now. The gall of a squeaking mouse in a lion's den. Give up, little girl. The bus home is leaving. Seen it so many times, we all know how this ends. We all know how it ends.
I mean, does everybody here know how it ends? for them, they don't know how the show goes. So, oh no, don't go throw the plot in the toilet, please. Sure, you know you're an old pro, they're not. Let them enjoy it, please.
Don't you have any idea what you're dealing with, child? Surprise, surprise, coins on your eyes. Give them to the ferryman. Get it in your little head. You're spitting at the queen of the dead.
Out of interest, is anyone here dead? No one? Yeah, that's probably what I would have said. Hey, let's prove that we're alive. Let me hear you, people on my right. Here we go. On the left now. Come on. How long since you heard something new? Or is that piece of you dead and buried in this cemetery? You ate a bad seed that's not on me. Rotten too long, blossomed all wrong.
We change shape. In time, you'll see we all rot away into who we will be. Your youth wasn't stolen like it was from me.
Let me help you.
Don't touch me. I don't need help from any of you. I was alone when you know who kidnapped and crushed all my dreams till amuse. I just want Calliope back.
Your Majesty, do you understand who I am? Who I
No. No, you've earned your answers. Calliope came to me years ago. She'd grown tired of arguing with the idols, tired of being branded a troublemaker. She couldn't watch the idols wither away without a fight. I knew how she felt. So I gave her the apartment.
So you must know better than anyone what she's been up to.
Not exactly. Calliope and I haven't spoken for at least 2 years. After I heard the news, I went to the apartment and turned it upside down. I had to know the truth.
That was you?
I didn't find anything. Nothing to say what she had been involved with, or gotten into, or who she might have been fighting with.
That means one of two things. Either whatever happened to her was sudden, or it was secret.
I suppose you're right.
Calliope was never one to keep secrets. When she was doing something, everyone knew about it.
None of you were talking to her. Who would she tell?
You're clever. Maybe there's a chance Calliope chose you after all.
If it wasn't Grace, that means someone else was behind Calliope's death. Someone who could keep their involvement hidden.
One of us.
Does it have to be an idol? You thought I killed Calliope. Couldn't it have been some other mortal?
Despite how he might look, it's not a simple matter to kill an idol.
It was difficult enough to believe you had done it. If another mortal killed her, they somehow escaped detection. We found nothing, no evidence of a battle.
You looked?
Of course we looked. What do you think was happening while you waited? If Calliope was attacked elsewhere, even magic revealed no trace of it.
Wait. Did you say magic?
You can battle me through a song in a world of your own creation, and yet magic is beyond belief?
Well, sure. I just thought...
We have our powers just as you have yours.
I can grow a field of corn like nobody's business.
Some would say our powers are also magic, but true magic is a different and older power. Hecate's domain.
And it was of no use here.
We shouldn't rule it out. We haven't tried everything yet.
Did Calliope have any enemies? The way you talk about her, she must have. What? What am I missing?
Calliope had a way of making people angry. She could be argumentative.
Yes, but enough to make enemies who wanted her dead?
Not that you or I know of, apparently, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist.
Couldn't we go to Athena with this? If you've changed your minds and you're both part of the chorus...
Athena would be sympathetic, but the die has been cast.
She won't go back on the edict, not without clear evidence.
Oh, now you want evidence?
She acted on the information she had. If we want to sway her, we need something better.
What about Athena? She seemed awfully insistent on declaring me guilty, don't you think?
Athena? No, Athena follows the rules.
Well...
Athena has one goal, and one goal only, to protect the idols. And that included Calliope. She'll eventually drive us all mad with her vigilance, but break her own rules? I don't see it.
What about Pan? He showed up at my place out of nowhere, right after I left the chorus.
He did what?
I have to wonder what his angle is.
He has one, that's for certain. Though I've never thought of him as a killer. It would be too... messy.
Still, we should consider the idea. For him to show up so quickly is... odd.
For all I know, either one of you could have done it and you're just playing along.
Apollo is capable of many things, but lying? He was never any good at it.
Whereas we know how capable you are of murder.
Okay, this isn't...
The one and only god I killed deserved it.
Right. Sorry I brought it up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know the idols. Don't you have any ideas?
I told you I wouldn't be of much help, Grace.
Did you now? That's unsurprising. When are you ever of help to anyone but yourself?
Says the woman who forced Grace to challenge her rather than answer a simple question.
Calliope died, Apollo. Calliope, who came with us all the way from the old world.
You think I don't know that? Are you forgetting what the Muses meant to me?
Stop it! Stop fighting! Is this what the idols are like? You just what? Live forever and never get over anything? Super. Becoming a god was such a gift, wow.
Calliope, I'm listening now. Tell us what end you were doomed to.
Calliope, blinded by fire, one match did you strike that consumed you.
How could you blame her? What could she have done to earn such a fate? You are blinded.
God of the sun hides from his own eyes. What would you know about fate?
You say that you knew her, she was family to us, yet you don't hesitate to accuse her. Oh, queen without a throne, go bitter with fury. Not everyone seeks to betray you.
Stop this!
There is something missing we're blinded to.
Yes, there's more to seek.
Apollo, your help is not needed here. Go ahead and abandon another muse.
How could you throw that gauntlet at me? Could your heart shrivel any further?
You abandoned me to
Of
a terrible fate.
You replay your injuries
It's
till
far
it's
too
too
late.
late.
You know how far I bent before I
I'm trapped.
snapped.
This is not
not
about you. Enough! This helps no one.
There he is, God of the sun. Aren't you a queen with all that that means? Stop looking for a fight. These old wounds, they distract and blind you. You can't see yourselves. He doesn't know what's important.
And you do?
Follow him or stay.
That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go. That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go. That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go.
What the hell was that? You were one step away from full thunder and lightning.
Old habits die hard, especially around my family. That's why I've tried to avoid my fellow idols for so long. I don't like who I am when I'm with them.
In my experience, avoiding the problem never fixes it.
Well, what do you do?
Oh, I avoid my problems, and it doesn't fix them. Duh.
At least coming here was useful. You have a better idea of where to start looking, right?
I thought you'd decide that getting me into the underworld was enough.
What? Bring you to Persephone and then shrug? Not my problem now?
What I meant to say is... thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, I'm not used to asking people for help.
It's all right. I certainly know that tune.
I have to ask, is Athena really not an option? She wouldn't see what you see? At all?
I respect Athena. She has dragged us into the modern age, sometimes kicking and screaming. She's why we're alive. But if I said that her need to keep us safe didn't drive her to extremes, I'd be lying. You represent a risk, Grace. To her, that is more important than any notion of compassion or justice.
Maybe whoever's behind this knows that, and is counting on it.
How? No one could have known you would become the muse.
Maybe they just don't want to muse around. Though why is a good question.
Good thinking. Though I'm not sure who would benefit. Something to keep in mind.
Where do we look then?
I need to give it some thought. This won't be easy. If another idol is behind this, they know as well. They had a plan.
So you don't know where to look next?
I need time to sort it out. Just be patient, Grace.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Someplace I can look?
Don't you want to relax? You haven't rested since this began.
Relax? Who can relax? I've been sentenced to death, Apollo.
Fair point. Even so, go home, Grace. The next time you see me, I'll have a better notion of what to do.
Fine. But I'm holding you to that. Hey, Freddy. Have you been waiting up this whole time?
Yeah? A goat man sends you off into the night. Your life is on the line. And I'm gonna, what, sleep? I was so worried after you left, and... well, I also felt like crap. You were right to be mad. I said I'd support you as your friend, and I didn't. I don't know why I acted like that. I just had this image of you being swept off into some new world without me.
I'd never leave you behind, Freddy. You know that, right?
I'm still ready and willing to be your high priestess, if that's what it takes.
If you could just help me get through this next week, that'd be plenty.
Deal. Why don't you start by telling me what happened tonight? Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
I wouldn't suggest saying that to her face.
And you ended up siding with Apollo? Lord of the Sun, god of prophecy? Do you trust him?
As much as you can trust an idol. I swear, Freddie, they're all nuts.
Oh, yeah. If they're even a little like the stories, you should be super careful.
So, what are your options? You need to go back to Apollo's place, right?
I could go back to the underworld. Make sure Persephone isn't taking my decision personally.
Oh, and, there's this. Pan left a card, says, "Come by Olympus." I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
That name keeps coming up. The idols live there, or at least most of them do.
Sounds cool. Even if Pan is there.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddie.
The muse? Oh, the embodiment of inspiration. Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.
As I recall, Grace, when I said stay or leave, you chose to leave. If it wasn't clear, I don't give second chances. Or did you have some other reason for darkening my doorstep?
I wanted to see you again. Make sure there were no hard feelings.
Oh, so it's a social visit then. Oh, let me be clear. There are no hard feelings. There are no feelings at all. You came, you got what you wanted, you left. Wherever you need to go next, I'm sure Apollo can take you.
You haven't considered that maybe you need me for your plans?
What would you know of my plans?
Just that you have them. And if you need anything, it's allies. Allies like me.
Ever persistent. You remind me of her a little.
Of who? Calliope?
It's an interesting offer, Grace. I'll consider it, truly.
I'd say hello, Grace, but I'm afraid that look on your face might be catching.
What is this place?
It's a garden, darling. Surely even mortals have them.
This building. All those people I pass getting up here. Are they all idols?
Oh, at least some of them. Welcome to Olympus, dear Grace. Our home hidden away in plain sight. Marvelous, isn't it?
How many idols are there? I've met, less than 12?
Oh, I don't know. 20, 30. Our numbers have dwindled so much I've stopped keeping track.
I didn't know there were that many gods.
We're not all equally legendary, it's true. Some idols were barely worshipped, others not at all. Indeed, not all of us are idols. Some are merely immortal. Hangers-on, if you will. You'll meet them all, given time.
Idols live here? I mean, Calliope didn't, obviously. Apollo doesn't either.
One must have special dispensation from Our Lady of Wisdom, Athena, before they can take up a private dung heap like Apollo's.
Am I gonna have to give up my apartment?
That's rather putting the cart before the horse, darling. First, you must outlive the weak.
Right. Good point. I've passed this part of the city 100 times. I've never seen this building. Was it always here, or...?
Our Lady Hecate provides glamours that allow certain things to go unseen, such as my glorious horns. Olympus is the same. Those invited see it. Those who aren't see exactly what they expect. It's not anywhere as grand as in the old country, but it serves its purpose.
I don't know, Pan. Olympus seems pretty grand to me.
As if mortals would know any better. This isn't the first time you've been here. I'm sure Hermes took you to Athena's dreary office.
That's here? Huh.
Good one, that Hermes. Almost as dull-witted as the original, but biddable.
You asked me to meet you here?
I did. As I recall, you owe me a favor that I now wish to collect, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, sure. I'm totally in a position to help others right now. Lay it on me.
Here's the thing. A friend has begged for my help, and you're far better suited than I to offer what he requires. I'll give you a key to reach the reliquary where he resides. You help him, and then we're even. If that's not enough incentive, the reliquary is also where you'll find the lovely Hecate. A sorceress of her power could aid your quest. What do you say?
This Hecate, do you think she could help me?
If she's of a mind. She is the goddess of dark magic, the creator of all our marvelous glamours. If anyone can help you, it is she.
And if she's not of a mind?
Then she won't help you. Grace, that part is up to you. I can't be expected to do everything, can I?
This person I'm to help, what does he want? And why can't you do it?
Well, Grace, there are some things you're better equipped to handle than I. This, as I understand it, is a delicate matter of the heart. One that requires a muse's hand.
A matter of the heart.
What, did you think I was sending you to rough someone up? Set something aflame? Don't be absurd. The man has an issue with his love life. Even if you can't help him, I'll treat the effort as worth the favor.
So that's it? Fix up someone's love life? Nothing trickier than that?
Oh, the way you talk, Grace. It makes me blush.
Well, it's just that...
I trade in willing favors, Grace. If I didn't, no one would want to do as I ask, and then where would I be? I may seem untrustworthy, but allow me to reassure you. If I wish you harm, you will walk into that harm knowingly. and with open arms.
You're saying you can talk me into anything?
Anything you would enter into willingly and with eyes wide open, which covers a great deal. Yes,
That's surprisingly ethical of you, Pan.
I find consent wildly attractive, Grace.
What is this reliquary? Doesn't that have something to do with the bones of saints or something?
Not those relics. Our relics. The relics of ancient gods. Magical treasures collected over thousands of years. Books, mainly. We store them in a faraway place so no one unsavory can get their hands on them.
Unsavory like you?
Unsavory like most. Athena has decreed that these relics are not to be used by any save Hecate and herself. A rather dull waste of so much amassed knowledge and power, but who am I to judge? I'm not leader of the chorus.
If these relics are off limits, does that mean they're dangerous?
Some, but I'm not asking you to chase after any of that nonsense. In fact, I'd advise against it.
But what if one of those relics could help me?
My, such an adventurer you are. It's possible, but ask Hecate first. She, and I mean this with complete and uncharacteristic seriousness, is not an idol you or anyone wishes to cross.
I'll think about it, but no promises.
Marvelous. The gentleman you seek is named Asterion. Lovely fellow, quite harmless. I'll send a package to your domicile that contains directions and the key you'll need to reach the reliquary.
I said no promises.
Well, if you decide to go, Grace, you'll still need all those things. Say hello to darling Hecate on my behalf, will you?
When I open that shipping container...
As I recall, Grace, when I said stay or leave, you chose to leave. If it wasn't clear, I don't give second chances. Or did you have some other reason for darkening my doorstep?
I still need your help, Persephone. Apollo doesn't have to be here.
I gave you a choice, Grace, not him.
So that's it? You were willing to help me, but one mistake and we're through?
I did help you. Now I trust Apollo will do the same, to the best of his limited capabilities.
You haven't considered that maybe you need me for your plans?
What would you know of my plans?
Just that you have them, and if you need anything, it's allies. Allies like me.
Ever persistent. You remind me of her a little.
Of who? Calliope?
It's an interesting offer, Grace. I'll consider it, truly.
I'd say hello, Grace, but I'm afraid that look on your face might be catching.
I just. What is this place?
It's a garden, darling. Surely even mortals have them.
Ah, Grace, you're back. That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
That's not true. I know how, I just don't like them. They're confusing. Anyhow, I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did, but I've had time to think it over. Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him. I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. Only a child would be frightened. They're just very loud.
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please?
I actually went to see Pan at Olympus. I guess that wasn't such a great idea?
Spoke to him again. Already.
For the third time. He was at the underworld, too. He wants me to repay a favor by helping someone at a place called the Reliquary.
The Reliquary? And why would Pan send you there, of all places? I don't like the sound of that.
Neither do I. It could be some kind of trap, right?
Well, Hecate runs the Reliquary, and I doubt she'd play along with any plan of his. Still, it's odd. Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
What do you mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but...
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
That's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul. I'll see you later.
Welcome back, Grace. Is there something you came to discuss?
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know. If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died. But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The sisters of beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in our previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it.